Well, I don't know about moving to the right or left or moving center, backwards or forwards. I think we're going where the puck's going. We're going where consumers are going. You already saw last quarter we were over, I think it was 25% of all new car purchases. That wasn't a mandate. That was just consumer choice. They're already moving in this direction. We're closing in on close to 2 million alternative fuel vehicles. It's not an electric vehicle mandate. It's never been an electric vehicle mandate. It's an alternative fuel vehicle mandate to lower emissions, to clean the air, to reduce healthcare costs, to lower the costs of use and utilization for consumers, so they don't have to worry about petro-dictators determining the price of oil on a global market, allows more flexibility and more freedom. As it relates to that as well, California wants to dominate in this next big global shift. And you're seeing around the globe, places like China that are moving aggressively in this place. Europe's moving aggressively in this place. You've seen the automobile manufacturers move on their own aggressively in this place. So it's part of this natural transition. The ingenuity, the innovative spirit, the sort of dominance of Tesla and Elon Musk, who really is in many ways the godfather of this movement. I imagine that inspires a lot of those folks that may be, as you suggest, on the right as well. They're right. I'm worried about it as well. That's why I did an executive order recently. And that's why I want to work with the legislature to move much more aggressively to address those costs. In that executive order, which you may have seen, written about, talked about, we laid out specific strategies as it relates to the Public Utilities Commission, the CEC, a California Energy Commission, and others, to really begin to unpack all of these costs that are associated with a lot of programs and policies over the course of the last few decades in California, to see if we can begin to unpack some of that, unwind some of that, and look at strategies and opportunities, particularly as we consider, and we're looking at the timing of this, a cap and trade renewal and other program renewals, ways to focus on the issue of energy costs and energy affordability, top priority in the state. Well, the timing of this announcement, there's 502 pages were done, not in the last 5 days, over the course of the last few years, and they were ready to present, and we were ready to receive the fruits of their investments. And of course, in January, we'll be rolling out for all 13. So I've been eager to do this for some time. As you know, I'm in the Valley very often. I'm back. We were here a few weeks ago. We'll be back again on Monday. We'll be rolling out a series of announcements and following up on things that we've committed to in the past. As it relates to the special session, that's a special session to focus on litigation, preparation. As it relates to the reality, it's not a theoretical exercise. We know what happened the last time Donald Trump was president. He vandalized our progress. He vandalized our programs. He broke the law. Courts adjudicated that. It's not an assertion. He did certain things that were unwound at the agency level that attacked this state. And so we are preparing for that. And that was the whole point, is the whole point of the special session. We're not going to be caught flat-footed, and we want to be prepared as early as January 20th, and that's why the special session is important. We also have a brand new legislature coming in, a lot of new people, and this will be an opportunity to engage and convene, talk about the previous 122 lawsuits. Again, we reacted to the assault. It wasn't a proactive litigation strategy. It was a reactive strategy. I hope there's not one lawsuit with Trump administration. As I said, open hand, not a closed fist. No governor in California worked more closely. No governor in the country, I would argue, Democrat, worked more closely, Democratic governor, with Donald Trump than I did during COVID. Same time, he took $1 billion of your high-speed rail money. Same time, he tried to take your crime grants. At the same time, he tried to vandalize most of the progress of the last half century as we were getting along. So again, no one's naive. I've been there. We have the receipts. We know exactly what he intends to do. He's been very honest about that. And there's nothing to suggest the last 2 weeks that he's not even more hell-bent on doing it. Look at the folks, one less today, that he's lining up to run these agencies. And that's why it's very important we're doing the work we're doing today, putting our head down, not focusing on Trump, focusing on you, focusing on communities like this. At the same time, we want to protect our state and protect our values, billions and billions of dollars of your money in the Central Valley at stake if we roll over and we play naive and nice. Thanks. Right. What's that? Well, I mean, everything about this project is about the vibrancy of this region. The vibrancy of this region is well defined as it relates to the diversity of this region, which is the second to few regions in this country. And so it's a point of deep pride here in the Valley, Central Valley, as well as Silicon Valley, that immigrants have been one of the driving forces of our economic output, one of the driving forces of our economic success. We're the tentpole of the American economy. You're not a $3.89 trillion a year economy unless you outperform, you outproduce. And that's because of the remarkable contributions of immigrants across the spectrum. I'm very concerned about the chilling effect of Trump's rhetoric on legal immigration, not just illegal or irregular immigration. I'm deeply concerned about mixed status families in this state. I'm concerned about our kids feeling safe going to school. I'm feeling concerned already. I met a young woman, literally, God is my witness. I went back to her. I said, you weren't just exaggerating just to tell me a tall tale. She's getting chemo, and she doesn't want to get additional chemo treatment because she's scared to death about Trump's deportation policies because of her status. And she's been here almost 10 years. She's got a family. She doesn't want to get chemo treatment. She's that scared. She said, how can you help me? It's serious. Health, public safety. I'm worried about people that have been witnesses of crimes or victims of crime coming forward. All of those things, those are very serious things that we have to address and attend to, and that's what we'll be talking to the legislature about, not just in the special session. This is secondary to the special session. It's work I'm doing right now across many different agencies, and we take it very, very seriously. I have not. Well, let me repeat what I said, because I thought it was really important what I said. And I honestly, I think it's really important. And I appreciate you recognizing not only what I said on my podcast, Politicking, but what we experienced with Donald Trump. We were working very collaboratively with Donald Trump. I was on the phone with him consistently, late night, early morning, getting along, and he was assaulting and attacking this state, taking money from the people of the state of California, rolling back all kinds of laws in this state, trying to roll back waivers, trying to exercise his control and preemption. He asserted lawsuit after lawsuit and assault after assault. So of course, regardless of whether or not we had a big hug at Mar-a-Lago or not, we need to prepare for that reality. You're wise enough to know that. You recognize where this state was, not just with the Newsom administration, but the Brown administration. So we're going to prepare for that. I'm not looking, it's not about voters. It's not about voters. I care about people. I don't care who you voted for. I care about people. I care about Trump supporters. I care about RFK Jr. supporters. I care about Tucker Carlson supporters. I care about Charlie Kirk supporters. I care about Ben Shapiro supporters. I care about all people. I care about the people living here in the Sierra, folks down in San Diego where I just was, or in my backyard in Fair Oaks, California. I care about people, and I care about protecting them, their public safety, and their public health. And I care about being honest with them as well, and level setting with them. This is not an academic exercise. We had the experience with Donald Trump. Don't fall sort of prey to somehow this is some new day. Listen to what these guys are saying and telling you. Look at what they're prepared to do day one, January 20th, 21st. Get prepared, and no impact will be greater than the impact in this region. And there may be a lot more Trump supporters here, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to still have their backs because they need us to have their back, not turn their back on them. Thanks. Yes, it has. I appreciate it. That's right. Yeah. It's a 2-year process. Well, you got to work. You got to. Every year's a new budget. We balance the budget. You saw the new revenue numbers back up, which are encouraging. Balanced not just this year's budget, balanced substantially next year's budget as well. I'll be putting out a detailed budget plan in a matter of weeks. I'm already working on that, as you know. I think it goes to print in a couple of weeks, and then it will be presented the first or second week of January. That will be in there. It's a commitment we made together with the legislature. I'm going to need the help of the community. I'm going to need the help of the mayor, city council, and those that support that grant, just to make sure it stays in there. But I'm not interested in that that investment. I'm totally committed to it. I want you to understand there's a distinction there between being interested in something and committed to something. I want to get it done at peril of the former mayor tracking me down.
One more question. Last question. Governor, you say that you care about people. In 40 days, gas prices will go up significantly. So
40 days, but just if I can.
$5 gasoline.
Yeah, what specifically is happening in 40 days that you're referring to?
When you start creating new clean burning fuel.
In 40 days, what's happening in 40 days? I just completely reject the premise of your question that in 40 days, gas prices are going up. So let's just completely reject that premise. As it relates to your concern around gas prices, which I think are one of the most important issues in this state, in this nation, you have been fleeced by the oil companies. You have been screwed for decades and decades by the oil companies. Let me give you a proof point. Just 2 years ago, you were paying $2.61 more per gallon than the national average. The state didn't increase taxes, didn't increase fees, did not impose any new regulations. They took advantage of market conditions. That's exactly why we called a special session. That's why we followed up with a second, I'm not done, with a second special session to address the manipulation as it relates to how they manipulate the refinery market. So you're absolutely right, I care, so much so that we're actually calling them out. Big oil has been screwing you. And if you think big oil has your back, you got another thing coming. But there's not anything happening in 40 days. That's just all the BS these guys spew and you guys often report. I appreciate you guys, and I'm going to take care of everybody. Thank you, guys.